Okay guys, so for this DIY, I'm going to be using a glue gun, mini glue sticks, these I got at the Dollar Tree, some E6000 glue. I have 2 floating candles. They say $1.99. I got these at Craft Warehouse and I paid 50 cents for each of them. I have so many things that are left over from our wedding decor, so these are part of it, so I didn't have to spend any money on these. I also have this coral tool roll, again also left over from our wedding stuff, so I'm gonna be using this. And then I have 2 of these little tea light candle holders from the Dollar Tree, and then 2 glass candle holders. Again, these are for like the stick candles from the Dollar Tree. And then I have 2 of these that are also from the Dollar Tree, but I actually already had these again from our wedding decor. So I am recycling and reusing a lot of stuff. So some of the stuff I already had, I didn't have to spend any money on it. So I will put these aside. I will need some scissors. And I'm also going to be using these little buckles that I got from Totally Dazzled. These are so cute. I'm going to be using these for a Mother's Day tablescape. So I'm just starting to do the little projects now, and then I will show the final results, you know, when it gets closer to Mother's Day. But I chose these because of the hearts, and I thought they were really cute because it has the big heart and the little heart, so kind of like a mother-daughter, mother-son type of thing. So I thought these would be really cute to incorporate in the theme. And I'm also going to be using this embellishment that I got from Totally Dazzled as well. This puppy is going to last me a really long time. I think it's 10 feet of it, so I'm going to be using this as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do on this one is I am going to cut enough of this wrap, this diamond wrap, to go around the jar here. So I'm just going to kind of measure it here, or not measure it, but kind of eye it and see where I need to cut. So it looks like I'm gonna have to cut right here. I don't want to lose that spot. There. Okay, so now I'm not gonna cover this whole thing. What I'm gonna do is actually cut this in half as well. So I'm just going to fold that to see where that halfway point is, and I found it, so I'm going to put the little snip right there, and then I'm going to cut it all the way across. It's so pretty and shiny, and these are actually not diamonds or not little jewels. It's like an acrylic type of thing, but it's just the lighting hits it really nicely, so it really does look like there's just a million diamonds on here. It's so pretty. So this is about how much I want on here, because I am actually also going to do something else right here, and then I'm going to do the floating light. So I'm going to have to put enough water in here to have the floating light. So I didn't want to have this so high up that when I put the other part that I'm going to do, which is going to be the coral tool, I don't want it to cover the candle. So I'm going to do it lower. I'm just going to put some dabs right down here, and then I'm going to do it carefully to where I don't just blather it with the hot glue, because I don't want it coming out through the mesh. So what I'm going to do is probably just do, like, you know, every few lines I'm going to do some glue and then just kind of gently roll it over. That way, like I said, I don't have all this glue just going all over the place. So I am just going to have a little starting point. I'm just gonna do just a little bit on the bottom 2, and then I'm gonna find the spot where I want to glue them. That way it doesn't move around on me so much. And if you can see, I'm not gonna do it all the way to the bottom. I'm doing it just a little bit higher, just to where that rim is. And I'm going to have to layer it, just because if I cut it off, it's going to be too short, and it's too long, so I'll have to layer it right there. Okay, so I'm gonna just carefully do the rest of these little back sides on here. And again, I'm doing this so that the glue doesn't just squeeze out of it. Alright, so there's that. It's all glued, and I just did like every few rows, and then at the end what I did was layer it, and you can't really tell unless you look really closely or if you look at it from the side, but it just blends in together with like all the shimmery glitter. So again, you can't really see it, and then if you look closely, you're not going to see big old globs of hot glue all over the place. So okay, and what I didn't really show on the last one is that as I'm laying it down, I'm also stretching it just so it's nice and tight on there and it doesn't really move around. Okay, so now that I'm done wrapping these, I'm going to start on the second part of it. So that roll of tulle that I showed you earlier, I actually took a piece of it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wrap it around here. I'm probably just going to layer it here like that. So I'll have to glue that, but what I want to do first is this is where I'm going to incorporate those little hearts. So I'm going to call these the mother-son hearts because I have boys, so that's what I'm going to refer it to. And again, I really like those just because that's kind of what it reminded me of, just, you know, the mother-child bond. And because these are going to be for the Mother's Day tablescape, I think they will go perfectly. And I might refeed this because I'm not liking how lopsided it is. So let me do it real quick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find the spot where I want to center it, and I'm going to put a dab of hot glue. So I'm going to just do it like here in the middle. I don't want it to get all over the place yet. I'll find my spot here. That should be good. And then I'm just going to press it, and of course be careful so I don't burn myself. I kind of want to keep it thin right there, and then just kind of fan it out as I go. Not too much though. That way I don't have a lot of that excess. Oh, and if you don't pay attention, like I didn't, this is what happened. I set it right here, and when I set it down, it rolled, so I lost the center. So now the back where I had to layer it is not completely center. It's like towards the side. Otherwise it should have been right there, but oh well. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on this end and then just glue it down and bring the other end around. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to trim the excess on there. Okay, you guys, so because you do see some glue there, I don't want to leave it like that. So I just cut a little square of the trim here. Let me actually clean it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it on there. That way it covers it a little bit, and then it still kind of blends in. So I'm just going to put the glue at the bottom and then move on to the next one. Before I move to the next one, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two candle holders and glue them together. So I'm just going to put this upside down just so it makes it a little bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take the E6000 glue, and you don't even have to squeeze it when it starts coming out. So I am just going to put it right around the rim of this candle holder. And seriously, this stuff just flows out. It's crazy. And then I have to put it somewhere else where it's not gonna get all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna try to center it as best I can. Okay, and then I'm just gonna press it down. And this will take probably overnight to dry. I wanna make sure I get it on there good, and also turn it around and make sure it's like centered. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go around the rim here. And then again, I'm gonna turn it around just to look at all the angles and make sure that it's kind of centered. So I'll have to have it there until tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't move around and like not end up how I want it to. But for now, that is it. Okay, so I made up my mind and I am going to paint these white. I already painted one, so I'm gonna paint the other one. Now, this is a primer and paint. It's a wall paint, so we'll see how this goes. What I notice is that if I pat it, it'll give it like kind of like a textured look, because if I do it where I just kind of like wipe, it's gonna look streaky. So I'm gonna do that instead, and then I'm gonna let it dry, and I'll probably do 2 coats just so it doesn't, so you can't see through to the glass. And I think this just gives it a prettier look. It's not so shiny, I guess, which is not necessarily bad that it's shiny. It's just, I want this to be the focus, not all of this. I'm also gonna do this part of it too. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll probably give it another coat.